expound a little bit on yesterday's video because people are saying, well, what do they blame you for? You blame them for everything. They blame me for a lot, and they always have. My older sister has always blamed me for the fact that she had children young. Not kidding. She has always said that she felt I looked down on her and in a need to be different or edgy or whatever to get one over on me because I was so much better and looked down on her. She had to go off and do drugs and have kids. And it's my fault. It's my fault because I didn't look at her with the type of eyes that would cause her to be a better person. I looked at her with the type of eyes that caused her to do what she's done. And it's not her fault at all. I was a bitch of a little sister, and I ruined my older sister's life by simply looking at her in a judgmental manner. This is the way my family thinks. My little sister blames me for my father's suicide because I didn't invite him to my graduation. That's it. I didn't invite the man to my graduation because I only had so many tickets. My grandmother had invited a lot of our family from my mother's side, so I felt like it was right for my mother to go. And somebody had to be home with the children. There was no world where both of my parents were going to be able to go to my graduation because my little brother was at home and needed supervision. Either mom or dad was going to have to stay behind, and since mom's family was going, it felt right that mom would be the one to be there. But apparently it resulted in our father killing himself 3 years later. And that's my fault. That's my fault because I should have known that if one of my parents was left out of that one situation, they would die. I should have known that there would never be another graduation in my family for my father to feel fulfilled, and he would feel like he had to kill himself because of that one instance. I should have known. But I was a judgmental bitch of a daughter, and I made decisions that were wrong, and now my father is dead. It's my fault my mom's dead. Yeah, because I didn't give her a kidney. After years of not speaking to the woman, years of no communication from her to me or from me to her, when she died of, I guess, liver failure or kidney failure, I don't know, they never explicitly told me. They only told me that she was sick, and if I didn't give her an organ, her death was my fault. I still have all of my organs. So my mother is dead. And it's my fault. These are the things my family blames me for. They blame me for my grandmother's death. She had COPD since the 80s. Do y'all know what COPD is? She had been on steroids, prednisone, since the 80s. They could not take her off the prednisone without her dying. And she had been in that condition for a decade. Literally, since 2000, since my grandfather passed away, she was on prednisone to keep herself alive. Every time they lowered the steroid, her lungs would shut down. When she fell and broke her hip, they did surgery immediately, and she came through the surgery fine. The problem was that she got pneumonia, which often happens after a surgery like that. And she had very weak lungs because of the COPD and the decades of treatment of that COPD. She was old and weak and sick, and she died in a hospital with doctors doing everything they could. My family says that I didn't feed her. She wouldn't eat. I did what I could. When they came in, they questioned why the fridge was full of naked juice. We had 4 different big gallon bottles of naked juice because I was trying to get as many nutrients in her through liquid as I could, because she wasn't able to hold down solids. For the last couple of months of her life before she fell, she was having trouble eating. And if they go back and they look in her medical records, they will find that the year she passed away, she spent 6 months in the hospital. And in those 6 months, the doctors could not get her to eat. The doctors and nurses in a medical facility where she was locked down could not make my grandmother eat. But my family blames me for it. I can't do anything that a doctor can't do. They blame me for my cousin's murder, even though I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know when it happened. I don't know exactly what happened. But because I was given wrong information and relayed that wrongly, it's now my fault that my cousin was murdered. I was in California at the time and had not spoken to her in years. It's my fault my cousins' marriages have failed. It's my fault they've all got bad kids. It's fucking all my fault because I exist. And I'm tired of it. I'm simply tired of it. Y'all are going to have to take accountability for your own lives. Your bad kids are yours. Your bad marriages are yours. I did not kill my mother or my father or my grandmother. The things that have happened in my vicinity do not necessarily mean that they are because of me. And I have felt the blame from my family for my entire life because they always felt like I should be doing something better or more because my grandmother gave me more. But money isn't what makes a person able to get past things or deal with things. If my sisters had grown up with the same kind of upbringing as I had, they would still be the same people they are, and they would still be blaming me. Nothing would change. It's just they have this reason to blame me because I'm different, because I was removed and treated slightly differently. It's this in their mind that makes everything bad my fault. Why else would they still be doing this? Why else would my aunt still be doing what she's doing if she didn't blame me for so much of what's happened in her life? So much of that I wasn't even around for. I have spent minuscule amounts of time in the life of most of my family because I keep myself isolated. I keep myself blocked away and buried off away from people so that I won't hurt people by my existence. But it doesn't work. They're still so angry and full of hatred towards me that there is nothing I will ever be able to do to convince them. And I'm not the cause of their problems.